Hello, manga and anime lovers. I'm Branch, and today I'm going to be talking about How to Become Ordinary, Episode 8. So this episode is kind of the climax of the this current mystery with the whole drug gang. I believe the leader's name is Isawa, and that whole thing. But it doesn't really feel like it, and I don't think it is because of, at the very end, I'm getting ahead of myself, but Koboto knows that Osanai knew she was going to get kidnapped. And I figured that too because the phone call Osanai had with Koboto the night before, giving ominous hints. So I figured she knew something was up. And if I had to guess, I don't know if she set this up, but she definitely had a hand in this. Because it turns out that Isawa kidnapped Osanai to ransom her because now Isawa believes that Osanai is the one who ratted her out and not the sister of the girl that asked Kengo to help. There's a lot of relations in this arc, and I don't remember all the names. So I'm assuming Osanai or someone else had something to do with changing Isawa's mind. Maybe Kengo did something by accident, I'm not sure. But this is the result. I find it really interesting how at the start, Koboto, the police come, Koboto goes home, but he just can't get Osanai out of his mind. He keeps telling himself, this is not another game. This isn't like with all the sweets that I tried to solve the mysteries for. This is not something that I should be butting my nose into. But of course, Osanai texts him for help in code, and as soon as he figures it out, which is basically the same way that he figured out which shop Osanai wanted to eat at the day before, where Osanai gave him the name of, I think, was it the Candy Apple place? Or was it, no, I think it was a different place because he knew she wanted to go to the Candy Apple place. And now she mentioned this place, so he realized that somewhere in between them was where she was held. And then there was some stuff with dividing it up and stuff. It was very easy to understand. I'm not sure why Osanai needed to text in code because these girls don't seem like people who would allow her to text at all, so if she got a hold of her phone, she may as well have just told him where she was. I'm assuming we're going to find all this out next episode. So Koboto goes to get Kengo. He figures he's not going to try and solve this, he's just going to try and find her and then have the police deal with the rest, which I think is the smart thing to do because you do not want to go in alone against a gang of 4 to 5 people. That's just not going to end well. I don't care if they're high schoolers or not. And it turns out they were correct. They go there, they find the evidence, and then eventually they find Osanai, and she's being kept tied up. And this is the part where I didn't really care, to be honest, because I don't really know what to think of Isawa. Like, obviously, she was the head of this drug gang, and we've been given a pretty insane picture of her so far from what Kengo has said. She's threatening everyone. But I don't know, she just seems kind of out of place with everyone else in this show. Like, everyone else is, well, actually, no, there was the member of the cooking club a couple episodes ago who was brandishing the knife. So, actually, she might fit in very well. She's just a bit one note. We don't know her motivations, which you might find out next episode, and then my complaints will be null and void. And I really do like that we get to see more of Osanai's vengeful side when she starts listing out everything these girls have done to her while she's tied up, so she can remember what they've done and to try and discourage them from hurting her with the knife. Or either that, or she wants to encourage them so that way she can get her vengeance. I'm not sure what she was thinking, to be honest. I don't think Osanai really thinks too deeply when she gets very mad like this, which is why Koboto was worried about her in the first mystery. But of course, because of this, even after Koboto lets the police know what's going on, I must have missed something where Osanai's mom started asking, who is this? And she seemed to say that on purpose, because he said his name was Koboto and she had just met him the day before. So maybe she was saying that so his voice would be on record. Was the voice being recorded? I mean, probably so, because they were expecting the kidnappers to call again, so that makes sense. So that way, I guess for testimonial, for some police reasons, that we may or may not go into next episode, I guess. But so, because this gang leader pulls out a knife, Kengo and Koboto need to head in there and beat some people up. And I was really disappointed they skipped past this part. I get it's not necessary, it's not the kind of story that this is, but it could still have worked, at least to see the beginning of the fight, and then we could cut to the end. We didn't even get to see Kengo's injuries afterwards. We just saw the ambulance pulling away. And Isawa looked like she had not even a scratch on her when she was being arrested. I don't know. I mean, same thing with Osanai. You couldn't really see any bruising or even dirt scuffs or anything. So I don't know if that was a particular choice. This anime has been pretty good with their visual decisions. Like, everything has a meaning behind it. So I find the lack of visible injury here to be rather curious and a little bit disappointing. Then they go to hang out at a cafe, And that's when Koboto brings up how he believes Osanai knew more than she let on, and that's when the episode cuts. I do like Osanai thanking Koboto for saving her, and I do like the chemistry between them. I like what's forming, whether it's a friendship or a relationship or what have you. I appreciate all that. I'm just really curious as to how this went down, because a lot of this was a little too convenient to solve, if you get my drift. But if Osanai did a lot of this on purpose, then that would make a lot more sense. I'll just have to see how next episode ends before I make up my mind on this particular story arc. Like I said before, I like the small story arcs a lot better than the big ones, I'm finding out. And this really is no exception, even though this one did actually have some stakes, unlike what I was expecting. I did not expect there to be any serious stakes. But I guess there was, even though it was kind of not serious at the same time. I don't know, I'm just confused, and I really want to see what happens next time. That's all from me today. See you next time. Bye.